I probably tried over 100 new griddle recipes in 2025. 50 of them ended up being YouTube videos, and these 5 were the best ones of last year. If you're too good for a Crunchwrap Supreme, then you're at the wrong YouTube channel, my friend.
First, we'll mist my griddle with a little bit of avocado oil, lay down a pound of ground beef right onto the Blackstone, and I like to press it out to get a decent sear, make good contact with the griddle surface. This isn't necessary, it's just what I do. Check the temp, I want to be around 375 to 400 degrees. After 5 minutes, I will flip the beef and break it up. Once it's all broken up, I'm going to move the beef over and try to scrape off some of that grease. I bought some Taco Bell seasoning packets for this because, when in Rome, I only used half the packet though because I'm sure it's just full of salt and that's enough for me for 1 pound of ground beef. But use the whole thing if you want to, whatever you like. Then I added some water. The packet calls for 3/4 cup of water, but I did half the packet and I didn't want to measure. So I just eyeballed it and squirted some water on there until it got kind of nice and made like a slurry type thing in the beef. FYI, all these recipes are linked in the description below, or you can just get my ebook, which is on your screen now and has 101 griddle recipes. Then I moved all the beef to the corner and turned that burner off also to stop cooking but keep the beef warm. Scrape down the griddle and let's get ready to assemble these crunch wraps. Now you don't need an obnoxious cutting board with your website's name on it to build these, but I do recommend warming the tortillas for 20 seconds on each side, then building them off the griddle somewhere, not on the griddle. I tried to build my breakfast crunch wraps right on the griddle, and as you can see, I burnt my fingers a lot. It was not an enjoyable experience. Okay, first ingredient, nacho cheese in a squeeze bottle. That's got to be good for you, right? Cheese in a squeeze bottle. Then some beef. I didn't measure, but I'd say you could get 6 crunch wraps from a pound of beef. Definitely don't put too much beef, it might not fold up for you. A tostada, I get these right next to my tortillas at Kroger. Sour cream, also in a squeeze bottle. For the crunch wraps, having both things in a squeeze bottle really makes it easier and gives you that authentic Taco Bell employee experience. Shredded iceberg lettuce, diced tomatoes, and I cut one of the burrito shells into fourths. You can put this on top to seal as you fold the bottom shell around it. Place some more oil on the griddle, then go seam side down. Now, you only keep the crunch wrap on there for, 2 to 3 minutes per side if you're still at 375, or just keep an eye on it and keep flipping it till both sides get brown to your liking. Let's go ahead and cut into these bad boys, and oh my, cheesy, beefy, crunchy. That is why it made the top 5 from 2025.
Poor man's birria. I'm a poor man. I like this recipe. Start it in the crock pot before work. Come home to the shredded beef, finish it on your griddle. You gotta make these.
Easy peasy. That's a 3-pound chuck roast, boneless. You could get bone in if you want. I've had it dry, then seared in the cast iron real quick. This is optional, but I do think it adds some more flavor. Then in the crock pot, I'll do 1 cup of beef broth, 1 tablespoon of oregano, garlic powder, cumin, chili powder, and dehydrated onions, or you could just use onion powder instead of dehydrated onions. Then a can of chipotle peppers and adobo for that smokiness that makes this so good. So after 8 to 10 hours on low, we'll start shredding this. Like I said, you could do it before work or overnight. I separate out all the juices and I find those chipotles that are in the beef and remove them. You don't have to do this, but it would be pretty smoky and hot probably if you left those peppers in and just shredded them into the beef. As you shred the beef, try to remove any of the fat you can, then add the broth back to it. You're going to need the broth later. Get your griddle to 375 and then put down about 2 tablespoons of peanut oil. Again, you don't have to use peanut, I just like it for frying up tacos. Take a 6-inch corn tortilla, wipe it right across the liquid on top of the beef. The fat should be at the top, and that's kind of what you're getting on there. You're going to fry it in the beef fat and the oil. Don't dunk them, don't stick them all the way down in there. I made that mistake once and they kind of fell apart on me. I did 12 tacos and had a ton of beef left over. I bet if I really wanted to use all the beef, I could have done 40 tacos out of this 3 pounds of beef. So I cooked them for a minute on one side, then flipped and started to fill each taco. Now we're going to put down our Chihuahua cheese first. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not sure. I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. Anyways, don't be shy with this dog cheese here. No one has ever said, oh, there's too much cheese on my taco. If they do say that, politely ask them to leave your home. And here comes the beef. I didn't measure, I just grabbed it with the tongs, but I'd say roughly 2 ounces or 1/4 cup of beef in each taco. Put the beef on one half so that you can fold it over on itself. After you fold it, it's just like the other tacos, 3 to 4 minutes per side, or until you get that crispy golden brown color you want on these Lazy Man birria tacos. That cheese quesadilla in the corner was for my 4-year-old. He definitely wasn't going to eat these tacos. Honestly, I don't even know if he ate the quesadilla. There's a good chance I just ended up making him Paw Patrol mac and cheese like I do most nights of the week. So inside for toppings, I did onion, lime, cilantro, but use whatever you want. Watch out, these things are juicy.
Chicken gyros, these couldn't be any easier. You can buy pre-made ziti, but I have a recipe in here for homemade, and it is worth your effort to make the homemade ziti. It's that much better.
I got my Blackstone between 375 and 400 degrees. I put down diced up chicken breast. Feel free to also use thighs or tenders for this. You could do the chicken whole, but I like to cut it up so each piece can touch the griddle and get a little sear on all sides. You achieve that by spreading them out, make sure they're not touching or piled up, and just, don't touch them for a while. Let them sit on the griddle. Probably 4 minutes. So that was a pack of 3 chicken breasts that after I cut them up, I marinated in some Greek salad dressing from Ken's. You can make your own marinade, but this one's super simple. My wife and I both like the way it turns out. I put it in the fridge for about 2 hours and let it marinate until I cook it on the griddle. Back to the griddle, I'm going to start flipping each piece of chicken again to get that sear on the other sides, and some of the pieces near the edges I'll move towards the middle because it's not quite as hot around the edges. My wife and I have fond memories of gyros because when our son was 3, we'd take him to this Happy Greek place that was like a fast food, and we could eat and he could just run around and be a maniac because no one's in there. Where if you try to take a toddler to a real restaurant, it's just miserable, So anyways, we got a good color on the chicken. Some might have even got a little darker than I wanted. That's okay. Scrape the griddle down and wipe with a paper towel. Then I'll add some oil. I'm going to warm up the gyro bread. I got these from Meyer. They're called Kantos gyro bread, or I would call them pitas. Maybe they're not pitas, but I really like this brand if you can find it. And if there's anything you take from this recipe, make sure you warm up the gyro bread and wrap it in foil. That's how you get that soft, chewy bite. You don't have to add more oil. You can see this other time that I didn't add oil. I just warmed them up on the griddle and they didn't quite get as dark. Either way is fine. It's up to you. I wrap all 4 of them in oil to stay warm while I set up my assembly station. So here's the ziti. Again, I love this recipe and I think it makes a great sauce, but not everyone wants to death squeeze a cucumber after you grated it through a cheese grater. So nothing wrong with grabbing a pre-made ziti sauce from your store, but this recipe is below, again, if you want to see the whole thing. All right, now let's build this pita in the foil. We'll do some of that chicken first, shredded lettuce, left over from the crunch wraps we made earlier in the week, tomatoes, red onions I slice as thin as possible so it doesn't overpower the meal, feta, and the ziti. Fold it up, crimp the back of the foil, and we'll peel back for deliciousness. I serve these with French onion sun chips because I'm classy like that.
This taco's dorado recipe was so good, it made it into my top 10 list of best griddle meals.
We're basically making simple ground beef tacos better by utilizing the space of the griddle. Get your griddle to about 375 to 400, put down some oil, then we'll add 1 small white onion. Let that cook for a minute or 2 and add a pound of ground beef next to it. Season both of these, the taco meat and the onions, with taco seasoning. You can buy a packet or you can just use whatever seasoning you have laying around. I just had some random Blackstone one. I smashed down the beef to get more surface contact, then I mixed the onions in and started chopping it into smaller pieces. After the beef is cooked, I put it in a glass baking dish and added an 8-ounce block of shredded Colby Jack cheese. I feel like it's 10 times better if you shred the cheese yourself. The pre-shredded stuff comes with chemicals on it so that it doesn't clump together in the bag, but then also that means it won't melt as well and mix into the beef. I'm doing it in the baking dish rather than a bowl because I'm going to use the dish later to transport the tacos back inside. So we'll set that aside, scrape down the griddle top. Then I added 3 tablespoons of peanut oil because I like frying things in peanut oil. I feel like it gets a better result. That's 16 corn tortillas going down in the oil. Let them warm up for a minute before I start filling them with the beefy, cheesy mixture. I didn't measure, I just used the end of my spatula and filled half the tortilla, but I'd say it's about 3 to 4 tablespoons of ground beef in each taco. Then fold them over, Fry them on each side for 3 to 4 minutes or until they get golden brown. Take them inside, add your favorite topping, and now you have an upgraded ground beef taco.
Cowboy stir fry. This is one of those recipes that's like perfect for the griddle because it utilizes the entire space of it, and it gives you a chance to do the old double spatula toss, which is why I bought a griddle. I don't know why you bought one.
Got a New York strip steak that I hit with kosher salt, then let it rest while I do the prep. It will draw out the moisture and help you get a crust. I also like ribeye steaks for this recipe if you like. Wash my pre-sliced mushrooms because I'm lazy like that. Got an old can of corn here, sweet corn that is. Diced up some peppers and some onions. Then we're going to coin up the kielbasa sausage. This is a 2-meat recipe, which is why I like it. Then here's some pre-cut Brussels sprouts. Again, I'm out here cutting corners, not cutting Brussels sprouts because I'm lazy. If you want to get whole Brussels sprouts, knock yourself out. Frozen red skin potatoes. If you got a Kroger by you, I love these things. They're already seasoned. They turn out great. The sauce is unusual, but trust me, it's good. It's Italian dressing, some of the Big W Worcestershire sauce, and juice from Sweet Heat pickled jalapenos. Out to the griddle, we'll spritz on some avocado oil, and we are at about 400 degrees where the potatoes are going down on the bottom of your screen or right half of the griddle from my point of view. Then on the left side, I have it higher, around 450 to sear this steak. I will pour down a decent amount of avocado oil here, like a decent amount, to let it warm up for a minute or two, let's say 1 to 2 tablespoons. Make sure you pat your steak dry. The salt has pulled out a lot of moisture. Both sides, get it dry. Dry steak, hot oil, 450 degree griddle will give you a better crust. My new steak method is 1 minute light pressure with the spatula to make a better surface contact. I'm not smashing it down, light pressure. Then 1 minute without pressure. Then flip it to a new spot that's hot. Don't flip it straight over to the same spot. Now I'll throw down those Brussels sprouts. Well, maybe if I can get this bag open. I just thought it would pop like a bag of chips. Boy, that was difficult. Anyways, here we go. I put them right where the steak was, okay, cooking the drippings. Now, I'm going to do the same method on the other side of the steak, 1 minute on, 1 minute off. I also put some oil on the sprouts and flip them so that the flat side of the Brussels sprout is down. Cooking order is very important in this one. You want to cook what takes the longest first. That's why I did potatoes, then steak, and then Brussels sprouts, and the quick cooking stuff will be next. Down goes the peppers and onions, and I will season up all the veggies with some Montreal steak seasoning. Feel free to use salt and pepper, your favorite all-purpose seasoning, but I just like the steak seasoning with this one. Flip the Brussels sprouts over, and those look good. That's why I put the flat side down first. And don't forget to keep on flipping them taters. I turned off the right side burner, again, bottom of your screen, to have a warming zone in case anything was cooking too fast and I needed to move it there. Then down goes the can of corn, kielbasa, and sliced mushrooms, which all will cook a little bit quicker. And that's a good looking full griddle right there, huh? Can't complain about that. Now I'm switching the potatoes to the warming zone and moving the kielbasa to the middle to cook. Probably should have just done that from the get-go because the potatoes are almost done and the kielbasa needs some more color, but whatever, live and learn. Cut the steak into pieces. First I remove the fat cap though. You can also see that I got a nice medium rare now on this steak, and then I'm going to cut it into these pieces and put it back on the griddle because my wife and I want it to be like medium. But if you don't want it that high, you could just not put it back on the griddle and just kind of put it on top of everything at the end and have medium rare. So now that the steak is back on the griddle, we will add our sauce, give everything tossed together with the old 2 spatula toss. Well, maybe it's a spatula and a scraper, whatever, close enough. This is great because you can customize it to your liking. Feel free to remove or add other veggies or meat.
If you want a copy of my ebook, there's a QR code on the screen if you're watching on TV, or there's a link in the description. And if you want to see more great griddle recipes, these are my top 10 favorite meals on the griddle. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good one. Keep on griddling.